Hello everyone, Social Coach Michael Knight here, and today I'm going to be talking about the concept of persistence when it comes to pursuing or chasing a person, when it works and when it doesn't work. Because I get a lot of questions where people are like, oh yeah, I know it's good to be persistent and go for what I want and be confident, but at the same time, how do I do this and not come off as like overly chasing the person, and how does it not come off as being just needy? Well, that's what we're going to cover today. So let's first talk about when it definitely doesn't work. And it definitely doesn't work when you're repeatedly trying to buy or earn the affection of another person by doing like unrequested favors for them and like giving them compliments and then performing other actions for the sole purpose of trying to get them to like you. This is just being try-hard, as it were. It also doesn't work when a person is not being completely honest about their actions. Often they act like they're doing these things just to be nice and they don't want anything back in return, but this is often a lie. And what they're actually hoping for is for at least the other person to like them, if not love them, or want to be in a relationship with them. And this is actually being very dishonest to the other person. To borrow a phrase from Dr. Robert Glover, you're forming what is known as a covert contract. This is a one-sided contract where one side is performing an action with an expected payoff in their mind, but the person on the other side has neither agreed to this or in many cases is even aware of it. Normally these type of situations proceed until one person finally gets fed up with not getting anything back in return and explodes at the person saying, look at all these things I've done for you. You owe it to me to love me back, or you owe it to me to desire me back. And the other person's usually kind of caught off guard, like I wasn't even aware of this situation and that was never agreed upon. And a lot of those things you did for me, I kind of wish you didn't even do them because it kind of created some type of awkward situation at the time. So now that we covered that, let's talk about when persistence actually works and when you should be using it. Persistence works when it's done openly, honestly, and confidently, and most importantly, when the pursuer's emotions aren't dependent on the outcome of the situation. That is, you don't need the other person to respond positively or give you attention or like you, etc. Thus, you're not being needy because you don't need anything back from them. You simply perform the action where you ask them out or whatever, and you don't need a positive response back. You're fine with anything, them saying yes or no. What you should be doing is repeatedly offering the other person the opportunity to get to know you, not trying to force or trap them into an interaction. When a pursuer gets either angry, aggressive, forceful, in any way at all, then their persistence is only going to make the other person feel uncomfortable. Compare in your mind a person who just straight up asks another person out on a date multiple times, and initially they get shot down a lot, but they just kind of laugh it off and they stay in a good mood and they're not really affected by it, versus a person who does all these unrequested favors for the person and only hints they're at being interested in dating them because they don't directly ever make their intentions known. And they're even sometimes ashamed of their very intentions because they don't think they're good enough for the other person. Thus, their lack of confidence and their fear of rejection causes them to hide their true interest. Who's going to do better when they step up to the plate? The person who puts in a full effort and tries to swing and make contact with every ball that comes by? Or the person who is even too scared to swing or scared to even get hit by the ball and only puts in a half-ass effort when the ball passes? It's pretty obvious who's going to have more success. It's important to demonstrate to the other person that your own personal emotional state is not dependent on them liking you. People will avoid you because they don't want to feel responsible for your emotions. They don't want to feel bad for making you feel bad, or they don't want to deal with what might be potentially an awkward situation. It's just easier for them to avoid you. Or they don't want to feel like you're smothering them. But be aware of the type of people who just want attention and might just be seeking it from you now because they can't get it anywhere else. These are the type of people where they'll text you out of nowhere, you'll have a text conversation all night, and then later on they have no interest in meeting you on the weekend at all. It was just at that moment in their life, they're feeling a little not desired, they're feeling a little lonely, so what do? They come to you. You're like the spigot of never-ending positive validation. And they fill up their cup and get what they want from you, and then okay, I got what I want, now I can go pursue the people I'm actually interested in because this person gave me all the validation I needed just when I was feeling low. And in these cases, it's best to find another person that has a high enough self-esteem that they don't play such games, as well as become a person yourself who has a high enough self-esteem that you don't spend time with people who play such games. Okay, to summarize, what doesn't work? What doesn't work is trying to repeatedly buy a person's affection through performing unrequested actions for them and then getting upset when they don't give you what you want or when they decide to take advantage of you. What does work? What does work is being honest about what your intentions are from the start, not being ashamed of these intentions, acting confidently, and most importantly, having your emotional state not dependent on the other person's acceptance of any of your proposals. That is, you're fully comfortable with them deciding to take you up on your offer or to leave it, and you'll be respectful of their decision either way. This allows them to feel comfortable in control, and thus they're more likely to take a chance on you, right? If they know if you're respectful of their choices now, then you're most likely also going to be respectful of their choices later, so they'll feel safer and more comfortable spending time with you later. Alright, that's all I have for you today. If you're interested in how these concepts specifically apply to attraction and dating, I recommend you check out my book. A link to this is in the description below. You also can find a link to an application form if you're interested in getting some personal one-on-one coaching from me. Remember to hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Until next time, ciao.